Hi everyone, how you doing this beautiful afternoon or evening? I have an interesting conversation I want us to talk about, and I'm going to start once some other people join. I don't want them to miss the content of the conversation. So thank you for sharing your afternoon or your evening with me. Welcome everybody. I see awesome souls in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see all of us. Good to see all of us. Please share the link with your friends. I have a topic I need to talk about, and the topic is titled How to Show Up Even When You Don't Feel Like Showing Up. How to show up even when you do not feel like showing up. How to be consistent even when you desire to drop out or to stop. Today's conversation is titled How to Show Up Even When You Do Not Feel Like Showing Up. So please tell your friends, tell your tribe, invite them to be here. Let's have the conversation how to show up even when you do not feel like showing up. So good to see all of us. Good to see us. Thank you so much for sharing your afternoon or evening with me. Today's conversation is titled How to Show Up Even When You Do Not Feel Like Showing Up. How to show up even when you do not feel like showing up. You know, it's very interesting that sometimes we do not sit down to document the depth of work that we do. Sometimes because we have been on it for a while, or because we have done it for a while, we think that it's easy, or people think that it's easy. You know, and sometimes we do not pat ourselves at the back or hug ourselves and tell ourselves who we really are, or to really congratulate ourselves and be proud of ourselves. How to show up even when you do not feel like showing up. That is the title of the conversation. How to show up even when you do not feel like showing up. It is not every time that I desire to work. It is not every time I even want to leave my bed. It is not every time I desire to teach, to coach, to offer therapy, to do any psychological diagnosis or prescription. It is not every time that I desire to bring my A game forward. Sometimes life gets overwhelming. Sometimes I am tired. Sometimes I am not in the mood. Sometimes I am not in a resourceful state. But these things have to be done. So there's a time for vacation. There's a time to rest. There's a time to chill. There's a time to enjoy and vibe. But it is not every time that I have to work that I like to work or I desire to work. Sometimes I just want to be under my duvet and be there for months or maybe for years. Sometimes I feel like just retreating to a private island and just enjoy my fluffy life. You know, but we have to show up. So today's conversation is titled How to Show Up Even When You Do Not Feel Like Showing Up. How to show up as a professional, how to show up excellently, how to show up and get your job or work done, how to be there for yourself. Some of us are entrepreneurs, some of us have a job, some of us are transiting careers and moving from one place to the other. And sometimes we're not at that resourceful state, sometimes we're not at that level where we really want to be there. I have to welcome my friend Seun Shobo. He's the president, you know, of VoiceOver Academy. All my voiceovers, Seun Shobo does it. So just Google VoiceOver Academy or Oluwa Seun Shobo. He's my guy. Mention my name and then he's going to give you some form of discount. His family and friends discount. So we're talking about how to show up when you don't feel like it. I think it was a month or two ago that I was putting out my profile of my resume, and my resume for just 2 years. So I was documenting what I've achieved in 2 years, the books I've written, the scholarly articles and publications, the videos, the interviews, the associations that have chosen me, the awards, both national and international. And I was able to document 13 pages. And in 2 years, I've written about 5 or 6 books. In 2 years, I've had over 200 interviews, both national and international. I've won series of awards. I've had international recognitions. I have done so many things. Like, I knew I was progressing, but I didn't know the speed of the progress. And when I say progress, I was also failing. I had rejection letters. I had series of rejection letters and series of failures. I had moments where I was tired, moments where I felt not good enough, moments where I felt, should I still get this done? Should I have to chase this, or should I give up? But one thing that I said to myself, and I knew I was doing, was to fail forward. One thing I said to myself was, if Chimamanda Adichie says that she experienced 37 rejections before her first book was published, how many rejections have you received? Every popular and famous person once tasted, dwelt, and maybe got drowned in failures, but they decided not to be buried. So it can be overwhelming, but you can decide not to lie in state in failure. You can decide not to have your service of songs in failure. You can decide not to experience an emotional burial in failure. So we're talking about how to keep showing up even when you don't have to, when you don't feel like showing up. It is not every time that we feel like doing what we're doing. I was watching The Making of the King by Kemi Adetiba, and she was talking about how the award-winning documentary King of Boys came up, what they had to go through when she was ill, when she had a surgery, when there was quarantine, and what's it called? Like that sitting at home moment, all of those things. And then you see the video, you see her life, and you just feel, oh, this lady has a Midas touch. But we never understand the mess before the magic. We never understand the dirt before the supposed glory. So if you're listening to me today and you want to give up, I was watching something on YouTube yesterday where a guy said that he made YouTube videos consistently for 2 years before he made his first dollar. And his first dollar came when he was on his 85th video. So he had done 84 different recordings in 2 years. He had posted 84 different recordings in 2 years, but nothing happened. He made no money. Do you know what it is to keep publishing and publishing and publishing? By the way, you spend money to put out YouTube videos. I have 168 videos now. So you can imagine how much you have to spend, and the time and the energy and the content to put out. He did 84 videos. He said it was his 85th video that caught fire. And that 85th video gave him $198,000. Imagine if he had given up at the 84th video. Imagine if he had said, oh, I'm not doing again, I'm not interested. It would have been one video before his $198,000. Now he's made over $1 million, but it was from the 85th video that the breakthrough came to pass. So if you're listening to me today, all of us show up even when we don't feel like it. There's something called compounding consistency, compounding persistency. There's something called showing up even in tears, showing up even when you are tired. And I am advocating for vacation. I advocate for rest. I advocate for recalibrating. I advocate for everything that you need to do. Your rest is as good as your working life, because if you do not rest, you will rest in peace. So I advocate for all of those beautiful things, but I am saying that it is not every time we'll feel like working. It is not every time we'll feel like showing up. It's not every time I feel like teaching, offering coaching or therapy, and all my services are paid for anyway. The only time I do something for free is when I teach on Instagram or YouTube for free. That is why you need to subscribe to my Buttons YouTube handle. Just click my link in bio and subscribe to it. Your prosperous hands, your hands are prosperous. Whatever you touch prospers. So you should use those hands to subscribe and switch on your notification button. But I'm here to just say, don't be carried away by the noise and the vibe and the optics on social media. So I posted today that something excellent happened to me and people are greeting me, congratulations. They may not have the idea of how long it took to be here. An average person wants to be like somebody else, but the truth about it is, if you understood how much work, how much thinking, how much strategy, how much tears, how much pain happens behind the scene. It is not the red lipstick and the red glasses and the intimidating profile. It is about the kind of work that has to go on behind the scene. So if you are doing your work, I am clapping and rooting for you, because what you're doing is tied to compounding interest. Keep showing up. Yeah, show up tired, but remember to rest. Show up anytime. Show up like you are being paid. I like to swim. Sometimes I don't feel like swimming. I'm a marine spirit. I love water. But sometimes I don't want to get into the pool. And then I say to myself, you have to do your exercises. Imagine if somebody says to you, come pick up $1 billion. Won't you be there? Definitely, I won't even sleep. I would actually be at a hotel close to the person's house. And then I would not sleep so that I don't die in my sleep. Do you understand? Because that's $1 billion. I know what I can do with it. That is the mindset. We all get tired, but we show up. I was on set on Saturday for, I think, about 12 hours. The next day, which was on Sunday, I slept all through the day. I would wake up for bathroom breaks, eat and sleep. Bathroom breaks, eat and sleep. But I showed up. On Monday, I showed up. On Tuesday, I showed up at work. I was tired. I rested, but I still had to show up. So if you are listening to me today and you are at that verge, you are saying to me, I want to give up. Chimamanda was rejected 37 times before she got her publishing deal. Do you know what it is to keep hearing no and no and no and no? That is an attack on your esteem, an attack on your core. You question yourself. But while you are questioning yourself, you are reapplying. While you are questioning yourself, you are clicking the submission button. While you are questioning yourself, you are saying God rules in the affairs of men. While you are questioning yourself and crying, you are reapplying, you are showing up, because you have to keep showing up till you exit the earth. Not everybody would appreciate you the first time. Not everybody would enjoy you the first time. Not everybody will see you the way you see yourself the first time. But you are going to switch on your inner voice and you are going to keep showing up. Are we together? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Are we together? Are we together? Thank you. Yes. So you have to show up even when you don't feel like it. Rest, take a break, but show up. Show up like the oracle that you are. Show up like the consultant that you are. Show up knowing that you are good enough. Keep showing up. Gentlemen, keep showing up. I am rooting for every soul listening to me today. We all show up together. We all get tired. We all cry. We all get tired of being tired. Sometimes we want to give up, but we have to show up. Consistency is the deal. Consistency is like you are dropping $100 bill from your salary and your allowance or your income every month. At the end of the year, it's $1,200. Even if you don't take it into an investment house, that's $8,200 in 10 years is $12,000. Now imagine if you kept it somewhere and the interest was compounding. I remember when I bought some stocks, they were at a very ridiculously low prices. Now they are high. It is the law of compounding interest. Every day you show up, you are watering your expertise. You are watering your skills. Sometimes you are actually going to show up staggering. You are going to show up, with half of your esteem, half of your pride, but you show up anyway. Attempt to show up excellently every time, but sometimes you are not in full gear. Sometimes you are not in your perfect and resourceful state, but show up. Show up, show up, show up, because one day the result of your 5, 10, 15, 20 years is going to be forever. That is the beginning of what you call breakthrough. Breakthrough is compounding interest. What happened to me today started 19 years ago. I showed up whether I felt like it or not. You didn't have to know on social media when I was crying or when I doubted myself or when I was tired, but I showed up. I showed up reminding myself I am everything I think I am and more. I showed up telling myself I am loved and I'm worthy of love. I am worthy of this. I deserve it. I am an oracle. The Spirit of God dwells in me. I have eyes that see and ears that hear. I am an expert. I understand issues. Like I give beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning. I give you meaning for meaninglessness, unhappiness for happiness, dissatisfaction for satisfaction. I kept reminding myself who I say that I am, and I turn my inner voice high every day. My voice stands higher than every other voice, because at the mention of my voice, like I'm not the industry leader, I am the industry. I create, I design, I re-engineer, I lead, I am in charge. I have created my world in this world. I show up every time and I remember that my voice is power. What I say, I see. When people talk to me, I am not just a listener. I am an encounter. I understand their past. I can see their present, and I understand what is going on in the future. I was made in the image of God, so I am not an echo. I am not an afterthought. I know who I am. I know whose I am, and I know what I carry. I know the power in my voice. When people hear my voice, they rise up. Like the resurrection dwells in my voice. I call forth what is dead to life. I give instructions and I give clarity for confusion. I understand what I carry. When I stand every morning, when they tell me to come and speak, I encounter people's souls before I get there, whether it is virtual or in person. And I say to me, today that you are listening to me, I am more than an encounter. Today I come with God. I carry God. My voice is full of God. The same way you hear God is the same way that you are going to hear me, because I have the power. I have the power to give you emotional stability where instability dwells. Oh, I give you emotional stability where stability dwells. I am not ordinary. I carry divine grace. I carry divine voice. I know who I am. At the mention of my name, the devil is aware that I exist. Do you understand what I carry? I am not ordinary in the marketplace. I was sent to the marketplace as an evangelist. I was sent as a straightener. I was sent as a leader. I was sent as a spiritual teacher. I have understanding for what is hidden. I know what is happening in the past. I understand what is going on in the present. And even the devil understands that I exist. When people say, who do you say that I am? I know who I am. That is why I call myself the emotions doctor. It is not a title by accident. It is a title by calling. It is a title by divine precision, because I know exactly who I am. You can't come to Emotion City and go back the same. I our emotional intelligence is not the same way people teach emotional intelligence. We teach emotional intelligence from the cultural intelligence perspective. Then we dwell in emotional intelligence, and then we go to spiritual intelligence. We also understand financial intelligence. There's no iota of intelligence that does not dwell at Emotion City. That is why we are different. That is why we have hosted 277 achievers from 14 countries. People fly down to Emotion City to get a job. They also do it virtually. Oh no, we are not just teaching you self-awareness and awareness of others. No way. We are teaching you how to increase your personal and professional influence, because you were not created by accident. When God was designing you, whether you believe in him or not, it took his time to orchestrate. It took his time to design your voice, to design your purpose, to design everything you are going to do. That is the reason why before you came to Emotion City, we knew you were coming. We prayed your soul down because we knew that one way or the other, we were sent to you. We knew that one way or the other, an encounter with us is an encounter with your life. An encounter with us is an encounter with your change. So when we show up in the fullness of might. We show up in the fullness of power. We show up in the fullness of grace. We don't teach like others teach. No way. We teach like God. We speak like God. We understand like God. Now, every relational issues, as long as you and your husband are ready to work on it, we are there on your side. Having us in your corner is having God in your corner. That is who we are. So we are not around to just make money. No, we are around to make the crooked path straight. We are around to fix the brokenhearted. That is why they call me the emotions doctor. I am everything I think I am and more. I show up even when I don't feel like it. Because Christ in me is the hope of Africa. Christ in me is the hope of Nigeria. Christ in me is the hope of blacks. Imagine if I lost faith in myself. Imagine if I gave up. Imagine if I said to myself, I'm not good enough. Imagine. Do you know what it is to be created in the image of God? I need you to rate yourself today. I need you to rate yourself today. Do you know what it is for God to say, I am not creating you in the shape of an elephant, a lion, a baboon, whatever, a snake? Hell no. I am going to use the fabric of a God. I am going to use the material of a God to fix you. And that is what God did. Today, I need you to rate yourself. I need you to rate yourself. I need the hell out of you to rate yourself. Oh no, increase your volume. Increase your inner voice. I tell my team members, oh no, you can't encounter me and remain the same. You can never encounter me and remain the same. Hell no. You can't encounter my teaching and remain the same. You can't encounter me as a teacher and remain the same. Oh, hell no. Because I carry divine power. No, I don't teach emotional intelligence. I teach Christ. Because God is the God of intelligence. God is the embodiment of emotional intelligence, the God of peace, the God of patience, the God of kindness. Everything about emotional intelligence is tied to God. I teach you the practicals of it, of how to be a God on earth, of how to be celebrated no matter where you came from. I was born and raised and bred in Mushi, but I knew that I was more than that. I can be born and raised there, but I'm an heavenly citizen. I come from heaven every morning. I come from heaven every morning. The finger of God dwells in me. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is who you are. That is the power that you carry. That is the might that you have. This video is going to be on my wall. Please tag all your friends. It would be on YouTube. Go and consume it. It would be on YouTube. Go and consume it. Go and consume it, because you must rate yourself. And you must show up even when you don't feel like showing up. You must rate yourself. You must show up. I don't want to know who gave birth to you, how you were giving birth to. Yes, I had those stories also. But you know what? I redesigned and recreated myself. So every time I actually say to you, come join me at a workshop, it's an invitation to a new subscription of life. Like, renew your life. I renewed mine. I teach emotional intelligence because it changed my life, and I am consumed to change other people. How the amount you pay for school fees is not, it can't even be tied to the level of change you would experience. Hell no. It is not easy to host 14 countries. People flew in for our courses from the United Kingdom, from Australia, from Dublin, from the US, from Togo, from Ghana. People fly in to take our courses because we don't serve you. It's a platter of revolution, of excavation, a platter of you redesigning. Like we actually say, come up higher. That's where you dwell. You are not a mere mortal. You are a spirit. Do you understand? Come up higher. That is what I came to tell you today, my darlings. It was worth my time. I hope it was worth yours. Be in class with me as a matter of urgency. Emotional intelligence class, how to switch from your masculine to feminine energy. Take one of those courses. Those are the 2 final courses this year. Send me a DM to be a part of it. Take one of those courses. I love you. This video will be there. Enjoy.